Hey there guys, what's up? Ragtter here, welcoming you back to the Pokemon trading card game online. I have some more goodies to open. I have 6 breakpoints, 1 X and Y base, and an uncommon reward chest, and let's just crack this right away. And we got a little Raichu. It's actually pretty neat. Raichu, 90 HP with Thunder Shock, 30 damage for 2 energy. Flip a coin, if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, and Electro Ball, 80 for 3 energy. Decidedly average, but the card art is cute. Okay, next up, X and Y base series. Now I wanted to do this, I know I don't have like dozens of packs to open, but I'm really anxious to get through more breakpoint boosters, so... Lapras. 110 HP, with Seafaring. Flip 3 coins, for each heads, attach a Water-type energy card from your discard pile to your benched Pokemon in any way you'd like, and Hydro Pump. This attack does 20 more damage for each Water-type energy attached to this Pokemon. This is a pretty good budget card. It's not the most high-end card you'll ever find, but if you need something to fill space in your Water-type deck, you can do worse than this Lapras. It'll do some work. It can't hold up very well against, say, Primal Kyogre EX, but count on it for your kitchen top games and it'll do just fine. Our reverse holo is Jigglypuff with 60 HP, roll out for 10 damage, and a Heartfelt Song. Discard a Dark type energy, attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Sometimes when they don't have the color around them, I struggle to discern the symbol. And then we have Kakuna with 70 HP, and Harden during your opponent's next turn. If this Pokemon would be damaged by an attack, prevent that attack's damage on this Pokemon, if that damage is 60 or less. So you can't stop Kakuna from being knocked out, but you can stop it from taking a lot of damage. Double Colorless Energy. Double Colorless Energy provides 2 normal type energy. This is honestly the best energy in the game. Well, maybe not the best, but the most commonly used. Because for one card, you fill up 2 energy. And look at how many... Well, not in this pack, but... See, take this Horndrill, for example. You play this, and now, instead of having to wait 3 turns to use Horndrill, you only need to wait 2, because it takes 1 double colorless energy and 1 fighting type energy. So that's pretty neat. This is a card you'll find in pretty much every competitive deck. Pretty much. Some go without it, some don't really need it, and some decks forgo special energy altogether, but those are pretty few and far between. This is a staple card. Then we have Lunatone, kind of weird not seeing it as a psychic type. 80 HP with double draw 2 cards, and Moonblast. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done by attacks from the defending Pokemon is reduced by 20. And it comes off 20 damage for 2 energy. This is fairly mediocre altogether. Then you got Venipede, Pawniard. I've never actually seen this Pawniard card before. It's kind of cool, actually. Honedge. I'm still unsure how to say this one's name, but that is a very cool environment it's in. I like how it casts the light on Honedge. You got a Fennekin and a Rhyhorn coming to get us. Do you know Rhyhorn is so stupid its brain never grows? How does that thing not go extinct, but like Kabutops does? That's insane. My boy! Oh, another Honedge. Seismitoad. 150 HP, and Siphon Off. Attach 3 energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. And Shaky Fall. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. That Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. See, I don't know how I feel about this. Okay. So turn 2, with this Pokemon, you can get a 90 damage attack. You don't really need to attach 4 energy, because 4 energy for 90 is atrocious. But this is a stage 2 Pokemon. So I don't really know. The thing is, 150 HP is really bulky, so this can go toe-to-toe with a lot of other Pokemon. It can take at least 1 attack from a lot of Pokemon EX, not all of them, but a lot. Confusing and preventing them from retreating is pretty good. But the 90 HP just feels a little low to me. If it were 100, I think this would be a really good card. I don't know if it is really good, definitively already, but in my eyes, this would be a much better card if it was 100. Maybe it's already great though, maybe I'm wrong. Our reverse holo is a Rattata. Dangerous Suspicion. Draw a card, switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. That's actually pretty good. Because normally you would have to leave Rattata out there to take the hit and fall. But you can bring out a bulkier Pokemon in return as long as you're getting your card draw. So I kind of like this actually. I think this is pretty neat. A neat little card for your kitchen. Then you have Sudowoodo. With 90 HP, it has Watch and Learn. Excuse me, if your opponent's Pokemon used an attack during his or her last turn, use it as this attack. Potentially really, 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 really good. Potentially really, 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 really bad. You just kind of have to... This is a gimmick card, but it's a fun card. You can really use this to mess with your opponents if you're in that kind of mood. I also love how Sudowoodo is surrounded by Trevenants. It's just like, hey, everybody, how you doing? One of those weird action figure cards. Nuzleaf with Corkscrew Punch for 20 and Razor Wind for 40. Flip a coin if tails, this attack does nothing. I hate these cards. Hate them, hate them, hate them. They are so bad. And then a Max Potion. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. Not the worst, actually, considering there are ways around this. Like, shuffling that energy back into your hand, moving the energy away from that Pokemon and then moving it back. There are a lot of ways to get around the Max Potion, so it's definitely worth keeping in your deck. Then we have Staryu. Yeah, my boy. Love Staryu so much. I love this Esper card. It's so cute. And his Blitzel, oh, be still my heart. This cool Electabuzz. I don't know what it's doing, fighting a tree. Oh, but I like it though. And then this very Master Sword-esque Honedge card. I like this a lot actually. Very Legend of Zelda-esque. Makes me very happy actually. I would put that in my book for sure. Ooh. Trevenant, 110 HP, with Nervous Seed. As long as Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 colorless more. Energy Press. This attack does 10 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay. This is actually a really cool card. The more I think about it, the more I like this a lot. So this synergy here is very apparent, but it's actually very good synergy. By forcing your opponent to have to play more energy onto their cards, you force them to take more damage from Trevenant. Now Trevenant here on its own doesn't have the most HP, but if you were to evolve it into Trevenant Break, then it gets more HP, it gets another ability, and it keeps all of these. So honestly, I think this Trevenant card is pretty great, all things considered. The 70 damage is a little low for base, costing 3 energy, but this can add up on cards like Mewtwo EX, where they rely on having lots of energy on their cards, and then you're forcing them to use another energy more. So honestly, I think this Trevenant is pretty gosh darn amazing. I want to see it played. And then our reverse holo is a confused looking Clefable. Ah, with the weird Hypno in the background, I hate that. I hate that so much. Sing, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, and Double Slap. Flip 2 coins, this attack does 10 damage times the number of heads. Just Weird card art, I don't like it. Then we have Puzzle of Time. You may play 2 Puzzle of Time cards at once. If you play 1 Puzzle of Time, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. This is the mediocre effect. If you play 2 Puzzle of Time cards, put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. That's the real reason to run this. It's pretty good value. You're playing 2, you're getting 2 back. They're item cards, so they don't take up much of your turn. The thing is, you don't really want to rely on these entirely in your deck because there are a lot of item stopping cards out there, like Seismitoad EX for example. But if you need some recycling and you just need like a little bit more of a boost, there are worse cards than the Puzzle of Time. You have to be careful because it does cost 2 cards to get this pretty cool effect, but if you do get it off, it's really powerful. Then you have Bayleaf with 90 HP, and Body Slam. Flip a coin, if your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed for 20 damage, and Vine Whip for 30. Middle child. Nothing too special. Then we have Electivire with 110 HP, with Knuckle Punch and Electro Slug with 30 and 90 respectively. This isn't a good card by any stretch of the imagination, but that is some funny card art. It's like, hey, how you doing? Also, does anyone else find it weird that Electabuzz has fangs, but Electivire has like people teeth? It's very creepy to me. Then we've got a Petalil. Aww, I love it. Got Numo just chilling in Minecraft. The Zelda Honedge. The Slowpoke. Oh, everyone's having a happy time. I love it. And then the Happy Esperon. Pokemon cards put me in a good mood. Ooh. Ooh! Ooh? Drapion, 130 HP. Poison Claws. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Heavy Impact for 130. Drapion, what are you doing? I think for the damage they do, both of these are way too expensive, and you don't get anything out of this Pokemon. This is really weird. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, it doesn't have an ability. It hits hard, but it takes a lot of energy to set up. I don't know how I feel about this Drapion, but it is just a stage 1. So if you need a kitchen top counter poison, psychic type Pokemon rather, I think this could be pretty good. I don't know if he'll ever see competitive play though. I could be wrong. Then, Raticate Break. With 110 HP, which might be, I think that's the lowest HP of a Break Evolution Pokemon. Break Evolution Rule. Raticate Break retains the attack's abilities, weakness, resistance, and retreat cost of its previous evolution. Raticate Break brings to the table Super Fang. Put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. Now, I like this. I like this a lot, but it makes me a little dubious. Here's the thing. Actually, no, wait. Maybe this doesn't make me dubious. Here's the thing. You're committing 3 cards for this, because you gotta get Rattata, Raticate, and Raticate Break. But, here's the thing. This attack is devastatingly powerful because no matter how much HP your opponent's active Pokemon has, you can reduce it to 10. So you can basically use Raticate Break to come in and gnaw one of your opponent's most powerful, setup, incredibly bulky Pokemon to death, basically. And you can do that without having to set up a Mega Gardevoir EX, or a Mewtwo EX, or a Vespiquen, or a Night March Pokemon. Like, this is pretty easy to set up. All it takes is a double colorless energy. Here's the thing that has me a little iffy on this. 110 HP is not a lot. There are a lot of Pokemon that can knock this out by themselves, and they don't even have to be Pokemon EXs. So, my thing is, Raticate can almost get the KO on a Pokemon, but it is very likely to be knocked out in return. Now here's the thing though, I don't know what attacks normal Raticate, or what abilities, attacks and abilities. I was trying to think, what did I do wrong with that sentence? What attacks or abilities normal Raticate has. So I don't know how Super Fang stacks on top of those. On its own, this Raticate will never get you a prize. Raticate Break, rather. With the Raticate card in addition, I think we're going to have to wait and find out. But I really, really like this card. I think it's really, really, really cool. I look forward to playing with it. Even if it never ends up competitive, I just want to try it just for funsies. Then we have Bursting Balloon. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your opponent's turn. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if that Pokemon is knocked out, put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So basically, you can use Bursting Balloon to either try and divert your opponent from attacking you, because, right, what if they don't want to take 6 damage, or 60 damage rather? That's a lot. For an item card, for not taking an attack, for just doing something and taking that damage, that is a ton. That can make the difference between a KO on the next turn or not. The thing is, while this has the potential to gain you momentum, and while this has the potential to hurt the opponent pretty severely, I think it can also be generally avoided, because your opponent could just take the time to set up another Pokemon instead. Maybe they don't want to attack. While this does gain you momentum, I don't know how much momentum it exactly gains you. I'll have to see it in play to see the real psychological effect of this. But this is definitely a cool card for messing with your opponents. Play some mind games with them. Then we have Lapras. Is that Misty? I think that's Misty. 120 HP, with Errand Running. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterward. That's okay. 1 energy is pretty good. Water Splash. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 more damage, coming off a base 80 for 3 energy. That's not the best. Kind of an average Lapras all around. Some neat card art, though. Always nice to see Misty. Then we have another Max Potion. And we have Kricketot. Furfru. I love that Furfru card. Look how proud it is. Then you got Esperon. Growlithe? What's Growlithe fighting? Very intense looking. And the confused Chikorita gazing into what I can only assume is Chal's portal gun. Anyway. Next up. Come on, something good, something great. Give me a reason to celebrate. Dragalge with 110 HP. Severe Poison. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Put 4 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon between turns. That's really good. A little slow to act, but I guess, that's what poison is. A little slow to act, and you can switch out of it, but your opponent is guaranteed to take 40 damage from poison alone. So if that's a big deterrent to them, then hey. I mean, you can combo this with things. I think with the Toxic Gym in the expanded format, I'm pretty sure that got ruled out of standard. But I don't know. This isn't the worst attack. And then Dragon Pulse, discard the top card of your deck. 60 for 2 energy is pretty great. So honestly, I can't really complain about that. And there are lots of decks that really appreciate Mill, so you can't really go wrong there. Then our reverse holo is Phantump with 50 HP and Ascension. Search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon. This counts as evolving this Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterward. So this is a really good way to gain momentum. This Phantump card is actually pretty great, because Phantump knows that it's not going to pick up KOs. It's a silly little basic Pokemon. But this can let you get your Trevenant out sooner, so that on your next turn you can get Trevenant Breakout. It's very, very, very good. And you search your deck for the Trevenant as well, is the thing. You don't have to have the Trevenant in your hand. So this is deck thinning, it gains you momentum, and it makes your opponent... Well, it makes your opponent less likely to pick up a prize card off of Phantump, basically. You basically put yourself into a much more powerful position than your opponent early on if this is like your starter Pokemon. So honestly, I think this is one of the best basic Pokemon in the game by sheer virtue of the fact that it doesn't stay a basic Pokemon for long. I like it a lot. Then we have Scizor Spirit Link. Your turn does not end if the Pokemon this card is attached to becomes Mega Scizor EX. Always essential if you're running Mega Evolutions in your deck. And Mega Scizor, always a badass. Then we have Delinquent. Discard any stadium card in play. If you do, your opponent discards 3 cards from his or her hand. This card is amazing. I've said it before, I will say it again. This card is astounding. You can discard your own stadium card. You can discard your opponent's stadium. Making your opponent toss 3 cards from your hand is huge. Huge, 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 huge. I honestly believe that this is going to become at least one of the most essential cards in the game. I guarantee you'll see at least 1 copy of this run in pretty much every deck. And if not, I'll eat a copy of Delinquent to prove myself wrong. Then we have Mawile with 80 HP. and Tight Jaw for 10 damage. Flip a coin if head, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And Cavernous Chomp for 50. Rather unspectacular card. Unlike this Furfrou, who is just charging along. I love him. Love him, love him, love him. And then we have Electabuzz fighting the tree again. Aww. I love Psyduck. I love how dope he is. Look how content everything is. And we have a actually pretty majestic looking Shelter. If you cut out the tongue, this would be pretty awesome. But it's just Shelter, and I love it anyway. And then we have a very ferocious and mystique Glammeow. I like it a lot, actually. Very cool card art. Alright, I think we're on the last booster? No, one more booster. My boy! Oh boy, okay, I'm gonna have to turn my head to read that. Oh. The second one's always a letdown. Meganium, 150 HP, with Overgrow. If this Pokemon's remaining HP is 50 or less, its attacks do 70 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And Green Force, heal from this Pokemon the same amount of damage you did to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, so, I want to talk about this. So, the problem with this Meganium is that it is not as good as it initially seems. Let's take a look at the numbers. So, if Meganium is below 50 HP or less, it will do 120 damage with that attack. That will heal it for 120, which will most assuredly put it back to at least near full HP. This is not a bad thing. Here's the thing though. This is a stage 2 Pokemon, so you've got to evolve Chikorita twice, and it costs 2 grass and 1 colorless energy. Now for 120, that's not the worst, but if this Meganium isn't hurt, then it's not doing any damage at all. Also, while 150 HP is pretty good, it's also not the best, and there are a lot of Pokemon that can knock out 150 HP with a relative amount of ease. So the problem I find here is that Meganium just isn't bulky enough to make the gimmick work, and when it's not using this particular trick, it's not really good for much else. You instantly nerf your own damage by healing back to full. Now while you are likely 170 damage will knock out a lot of Pokemon, but that takes 2 attacks. You're healing yourself to full, you're neutering your damage. I think that this card kind of makes itself a bit redundant in a way. I don't know, maybe it's super good and I'm just not seeing the potential, but I don't like this card personally. Actually, I know, I do like the card, and the card art is cool. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's as good as people think it is. But that's just me, maybe someone will prove me wrong. Alright, gotta turn my head sideways. Luxray Break. As with Raticate, it retains the attack's abilities, weakness, resistance, and retreat cost of its previous evolution, and it has Wild Fury for 130 base damage. Flip a coin and 2 get tails. This attack does 40 more damage for each heads. Okay, this is immediately what I mean. If you get no heads, let's compare Luxray to Meganium. So this is a Break evolution. Now it's a Break evolution that comes from a stage 2 Pokemon. So immediately it's slower because it has to evolve 3 times instead of just 2. And it also costs 1 more energy to attack, but it has the benefit of only needing to double colorless energy and 2 electric types. Electric type energy gets milled very, very, very easily, and the double colorless is solved by a single card. So you can actually get this attack out very quickly. Now this does 130 base damage, and assuming you get no tails, or no heads rather, this immediately activates Meganium's attack, and that does 120 damage to Luxray Break. Now, that puts Meganium at 140. Now Luxray Break attacks again, and this is without a muscle band, by the way. With a muscle band, it just immediately knocks out this Pokemon. If it gets any heads, then the Meganium is just knocked out, and you didn't really get anything for it. Now, while Meganium, in an optimal scenario, could go toe-to-toe with the Luxray, more often than not, the Luxray has the advantage, just because it's bulkier, and it has an attack that can without damage Meganium's HP. So I think this is a great card. I think this is an average card. Well, this has the potential to be great. Honestly though, it can do an extra 120 damage, and there's not a whole lot that can survive that in this game. I think Wailmer EX comes to mind as the only Pokemon that can take 250 damage. And I think Wailmer EX is actually weak to electric type attacks, so Luxray Break should be able to KO pretty much anything in the game that's not protected by an item card of some sort. Very neat. We got Electivire again, and then we have Cloyster with 100 HP and Sudden Grip. If this Pokemon evolved from Shelter during this turn, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed for 1 Water-type energy, and Surf for 70. Very, very decidedly average, but it's a Stage 1 Pokemon. This is a kitchen top counter card. Something neat to put in your book, or something to bust out with your friends to mess with them. I don't know if this will ever see play, but it's kinda neat. Then we have Reverse Valley. Choose which way the card faces before you play it. On the bottom, the attacks of this player's Dark-type Pokemon do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And hold on, everybody. Any damage done to this player's Steel-type Pokemon by an opponent's attack is reduced by 10. So if you're running a Dark-type deck, give yourself a little damage boost. That can add up, actually. 10 damage can make the difference between picking up a KO or not. Just like if you're running a Metal deck, saving yourself from 10 damage can make the difference between getting KO'd or not. Man, we are getting so many Staryu cards. I'm so happy. I love Staryu so much. I want to hug it. We got this Clefairy again being hunted by Hypno, very creepy. Minecraft Numel, Tree Fighting Electabuzz, super adorable Esper. We are now on to the last pack. Something good, something great, give me a reason to celebrate. Ferrothorn, 100 HP with Metaclaw and Spike Lash. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for each colorless energy in that Pokemon's retreat cost. I talked about this card before. I don't like it. This just doesn't add up to that much damage, and anything that has that high of a retreat cost can very likely KO Ferrothorn in return. This actually feels like one of the weakest cards in the game, and that kind of disappoints me a little bit. But oh well. Then our reverse holo is Swanna with 80 HP, Wing Attack and Brave Bird. 20 and 80, this Pokemon does 20 damage to itself. We got another reverse holo, another Puzzle of Time, and a Dunsparce. 60 HP and Call for Family. Shuffle your deck, search your deck for a basic type Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterward. Very basic normal type attack. A lot of normal type Pokemon will have this equipped. And Ram for 20. And then we got Clefairy, Phantom, again, best basic Pokemon out there. Spritzy, wow. Way to bring it home, Spritzy. Slowpoke, and Chikorita. So, we got a whole lot out of that, actually. We got a couple break cards, which I'm very happy with. No Pokemon EXs, but that's okay. I'm very happy to have that Luxray break, though. I've been looking for one of those, and that was actually one of the cards I was very excited to be getting. Unfortunately, though, I don't think I have the Shinx, Luxio, or Luxray cards, so I'm gonna need to go get those next. If you guys have enjoyed this video, then please let me know with a like and a comment down below telling me just how much fun you've had, and I will see you next time, when we return to the Pokemon trading card game online to open more boosters and have more fun. Until then, be sure to take care, and have a good one. Thanks for watching, bye bye!